I had to navigate a season full of injuries, but somehow I managed to stay healthy and make it through.
Iron Man.
Tony, this is the first time I'm going to let you talk about it. He tried to talk about it before the game, and I'm not even going to look your direction. I'm not going to talk to you.
Well, bouncing around through two ways for the first couple years of your career, how does that feel to have the year like that?
No, it is something I'm proud of. It's difficult to do, and it makes you appreciate just, guys that have done it before, like looking at guys who do this consistently. That's tough to do. It's a long season, and proud of it, happy that, we made it through and we got a lot out of it.
Playing center for this team is somewhat unique. Early in the year, Rick was talking about conditioning stuff. You had system stuff you had to learn at the beginning. How will that help you all into next year, actually having that experience?
Yeah, I think this was a year where we tried to build winning habits, learn what we can do next year, learn things that work in our system. It was a big learning year for a lot of guys.
Tonight specifically, was there something that started that with Isaiah Stewart? How did that all kind of come to be?
That happens. I try my best to be friendly as can be during competition. It's always interesting. Not something that, off the court, I think we're fine. I don't really care. It's not like I'm going to hold a grudge against the guy, is what it is.
Micah, when you signed, it wasn't any guarantee that you'd even last beyond a few days, and then you made it through the rest of the season. Why did you feel like this spot worked so well for you and you fit and stayed?
It's a great question. I'm just thankful, honestly. There's so many things that happen in this business that are out of your control, and I think the Pacers just gave the opportunity. And I don't know. There's a lot of things that I don't make decisions about. So I just tried to come in here and bring energy, and I think that could be part of it. I think they enjoyed the energy that I brought, got the fans involved, brought some joy back to the team. Because when I came in, we were in the middle of a pretty rough skid of losing. So I just tried to bring energy and play with a lot of heart and bring some joy back, and I think maybe that's one reason. I don't know. We'll see.
You've been on that type of contract a long time ago, people, just letting you know.
Thanks, Jay.
Yeah.
You could be a free agent this summer. Have you thought at all about what that
Nope.
offseason part might look like?
No.
And what was
take things one day at a time. I learned that the hard way last year, so just one day at a time.
after going through, like him, years of two A's, what was it like for you being on a standard the whole year, and how does that change your outlook for future years?
Yeah, it was a blessing, honestly. Jay understands the grind of being a two-way and being undrafted and trying to work your way into being a roster guy and finding a place to stick. And a lot of it has nothing to do with your play sometimes. It could just be fit and opportunity, right? So just being patient and trying to stay, keep my work ethic going, keep my head down, and just work, and just hopefully an opportunity comes. And the Pacers gave me one this year, and it worked, so I'm thankful.
Jay, I wanted to go back to playing 82, I guess. Was it stranger or weirder to do it in a year where you guys had so many injuries, and then somehow you were the only one, I guess, who kind of danced through the raindrops there? What was that like when you saw everybody else having something and you were able to hang on and get through it?
Raindrops as much as landmines, because this was one of those years where it was tough. It's just one of those things that you can't control. A lot of guys getting hurt. But yeah, obviously it's nice to avoid that, but it was a very interesting year. A lot of guys would play while they were still kind of banged up. It wasn't like everybody was only playing when they were fully healthy. So it is what it is. But it felt good to try to be as consistent as I could.
How do you just feel like just the whole opportunity grew you as a player? Where do you feel like how do you feel like you're a better player you were now than you were when this thing started and
I think
you got this much opportunity?
For a year like this, learning truly how to try to fit within this system, because like we've said, they play a very unique style here. We play a very unique style, and just trying to learn how to do that in a year that's just built on learning, I think, is something that I try to do as best as I can.
Micah, just how have you seen the growth in this team as a collective, especially the guys that weren't getting a lot of playing time? Guys like guys that weren't veterans necessarily. How much have you seen growth in everybody's sort of understanding of how to work within this system? Basically, you're especially offensively, you guys have grown a lot in terms of just how much points you're scoring over the last couple of weeks. Where have you seen that got a lot better?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just confidence and freedom, right? We understood that with the injuries that happened this year, sometimes when you first come into a situation like this, especially for younger guys, there's a little bit of hesitancy. and just the confidence isn't quite there. But then the more you play, the more confidence you get, more reps you get, more confidence you get. So I think a lot of guys were able to take advantage of it and play confidently and play free. The mental side of this game is huge. And so if being confident when you're shooting the ball, being confident when you're making a pass, being confident when you're handling the ball, all that stuff matters. So I think confidence was the biggest thing.
Michael, last time you told us that you knew Jay from a pretty long time, like
Pre-draft in Philly.
exact that
Yeah.
your wives were like friends.
Yeah.
You played, I think Friday and today a few minutes on the court together. How special is it to share the court?
It was funny. So when I got the call, my agent called me. It was December 23rd. He was like, "Hey, it's a possibility the Pacers might want to bring you in." He's like, "It's not a guarantee. Like, it's just the possibilities there. Just letting you know." Because I was at home for Christmas break after the G League showcase. And I was like, all right, at this point, I'm not expecting anything. If I get my hopes up and it doesn't happen, it's just going to make everything worse and dampen Christmas. I'm just not going to think about it. Well, he calls me back like 2 days later. He's like, "Hey, they're making a decision, and I'll call you by like 11 o'clock tonight. Like, they'll make a decision." He calls me. So it's Christmas Eve. He calls me, and he's like, "They're giving you a contract. It's non-guaranteed. Honestly, don't expect anything, because how they've been handling these contracts is like guys come in for a couple of games and then they leave. So just letting you know, like, just enjoy it. Like, congratulations, Merry Christmas." So I was like, well, sweet. All right, cool. I wasn't allowed to say anything yet because it was still quiet or whatever. I wanted to text Jay so bad, just because we've had a really good relationship since pre-draft. And then when I finally signed and they made it public, I texted. We have a group chat called Hufflepuffs and Potters with us and our wives. And so I texted the group chat and I was like, guess what? Like, I have a surprise, whatever. He's like, "Yeah, I know. Chad texted the whole team," or whatever. So it's kind of a big full circle moment. And it's another thing that's funny too is we would never, whenever we played each other in the G League, we never played. So like either he was hurt or I was out for some random reason.
We had to worry, like, okay, neither of us are injured. Something's gonna happen.
Something's gonna happen. So just the whole idea of like being full circle, of coming in together, him being an Iron Man, me playing next to him, all that kind of stuff, and just using that friendship to help us play better on the court. If one of us is having a bad game, being someone to lean on or whatever, it's been a lot of fun.
No, he's been great at that. Like, there's been games where I was frustrated, and he's one of my main encouragers. So it's been fun having a friend like that on the team.